As much as the internet is making it seem like it's this easy job that you could just sign up for and do overnight, it at the end of the day, it ends up being much more deeper than that. Welcome back to Transaction Care. My name is Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lily. And today we're going to answer the question, what is a transaction coordinator? As you may or may not know, I am a real estate transaction coordinator certified in California. I also have my real estate license, and I have worked in the real estate industry since 2004. Yes, you heard that right. This year will be 21 years. Wild. I started my real estate transaction coordinator career by accident, and fast forward some years and decades later, in 2018, I quit my job, took a major leap of faith, which I'll talk about in future vlogs, and quit my job. At the time, I had no idea what I was going to do, and somehow everything lined up, and transaction coordination ended up being my next best move. And many of you have emailed me, commented on videos, messaged me, asking me, how do I become a TC? I need money quick. I want to learn about this. I'm ready. I want to do it now. Amazing. And if you are one of those people, feel free to message me or comment below. Just tell me what you need to get you on the right path, get some questions answered, and hopefully you can get on the trajectory of becoming a successful real estate professional, such as a transaction coordinator. So let's just jump straight into this and figure out what is a real estate transaction coordinator. I know what a real estate transaction coordinator is. And before I get into my experience and pretty much a day in the life, which if you want to go back and watch, which was one of my favorite videos to record, I gave you guys an inside look into my mind and a bit of an office tour, but my mind as a self-employed entrepreneur slash real estate professional slash transaction coordinator slash coach. And I really went deep in that one and kind of vulnerable. So go check that one out. But before I talk about what a transaction coordinator is to me, based on my experience, I asked Google, what is a transaction coordinator? And this is what Google said. So after doing a deep dive into real estate transaction coordination, AKA I Googled what is a real estate transaction coordinator. According to AI, yes, artificial intelligence says, and I'm looking at my notes, a transaction coordinator is a real estate professional who manages the administrative and organizational aspects of a property transaction from contract to closing, essentially acting as a central point of contact to coordinate communication between all parties involved in a real estate deal, ensuring all necessary paperwork is completed and deadlines are met, allowing the real estate agent to focus on client relationships and generating new business. They primarily handle tasks like scheduling appointments, managing documents, and keeping track of deadlines to facilitate a smooth process. There was not one period in that description. I am out of breath. Okay, so TCs that are watching this that have their businesses or maybe work at an office, what do you think about this definition? Do you think it's accurate? Do you think it's missing some points? Let me know in the comments. Next up, AI gave me some key points about a transaction coordinator. And they are 1, the role. So once again, primary responsibility for administrative tasks related to a real estate transaction, like managing paperwork, coordinating with various parties, buyers, sellers, lenders, title companies, inspectors, and ensuring compliance with regulations. That seems fair. And benefits for agents. By taking on these administrative tasks, a transaction coordinator frees up the real estate agent's time to focus on client transactions and sales generation. Some key responsibilities include managing contracts, scheduling appointments, gathering necessary documents, monitoring deadlines, communicating with all parties involved, ensuring proper file management. Honestly, I'm not mad at this. And if it wasn't taken off of Google, I would make this my bio. Some of the sources, I do want to cite my sources. Always cite your sources, people. And they pulled this information, Google pulled this information from US News, the real estate section, Indeed.com, Paperless Pipeline, and My Outdesk. I never heard of the last one, but I have heard of the others. So do your Googles, do your research, and let's get into it. Let's take a deeper dive into what was mentioned and how it compares to the real life of a real estate transaction coordinator. According to AI, they don't know how to use periods in sentences and descriptions. And that was one long winded description. But I will say it was pretty accurate. It was very general. But the only misconception I would want to point out is it makes it seem like you're just doing the literal basics of gathering a few papers, calling a few people, sending emails, and then you're all good. Which that is one aspect of it if you have one file. But if you have multiple, you're doing that same amount of work times however many transactions, times however many people are involved, times however many buyers or sellers are on the contract or on title. And it just accumulates and it becomes very overwhelming. And I know I didn't Google the day in the life of a real estate transaction coordinator. I simply just Googled what it is. And at the very basic level, this is exactly what it is. And I'm going to put this exact Google search in the description so you can have it as reference. If you're curious about any of these aspects of transaction coordination and maybe you want to do a one-on-one session, feel free to reach out. I do one-on-one coaching. You can book a free discovery call with me anytime throughout the month. I update my calendar at the end of each month, so grab your times because they do fill up quickly. Definitely hit all the working points of what a transaction coordinator is. But what I like to focus on alongside what a transaction coordinator does through my training videos, through my Q&As and live streams, is I like to get into the mindset of a TC and what is required of this person. Qualities such as communication skills, organizational skills, time management skills, just to name a few of the very basics. And without that, it can really be a detriment to your business if you don't possess some of those skills, because managing contracts requires a keen attention to detail, meaning every I must be dotted, every T must be crossed, and then checked it over and over again. It doesn't mention the compliance parts, such as making sure you audit that file at least 3 times. It doesn't even mention the word audit. This is more of an auditing job, more so than it is a administrative task job. And you really have to take your time processing these things. But the part about it that is not mentioned here is it can get overwhelming. So if you're not organized, you can lose track and miss deadlines. And if you're in charge of scheduling appointments, you have to make sure you're time managing and time blocking times to do so. Otherwise, you'll be on that phone or going back and forth in emails all day, and then you won't have a chance to even get to the real work and the gut of the file. So as much as this is correct on a very basic level, I just don't want you to skip over the fact that it is a very intensive job with a lot of responsibilities. And if you fail to meet any of these deadlines, it could not just result in you losing your job and your opportunity or part of your business, but it can really impact someone's life. You're not just a transaction coordinator doing a job, collecting a check, going about your day. I mean, if that's your mindset, fine. I'm not here to judge anyone. But what gets me through the day and what has kept me going this long is reminding myself that I'm not just checking boxes off of a paper or the internet. I'm managing this file, making sure it's in compliance, making sure that the parties we work with, the buyers and or sellers, are protected. And I'm a part of this team that is playing defense to make sure that we win this game, which is closing escrow. safely, on time, and orderly. So, and also making sure everyone has the best deal. Yes, I'm the transaction coordinator. No, I'm not the realtor. But remember, we are in this as a team. And I'll get into more of the different types of roles and jobs that there are within the real estate transaction, within real estate. But as a transaction coordinator, you do have an important role. And protecting the buyers and sellers who truly are our bosses at the end of the day is your real job. Because this is the most expensive purchase you're ever going to make in your life that I can think of. Unless you're buying a country or an island. Just put yourself in the shoes of a buyer or seller and you wanting to get things right as you're filling things out, as you're signing things. So as a TC, it's your job to be a part of the armor of this person. So as much as the internet is making it seem like it's this easy job that you could just sign up for and do overnight, it at the end of the day, it ends up being much more deeper than that. And I do advise you to respect the job, to come at it with an open mind, and to know that it is possible for anyone to become a real estate transaction coordinator. You don't need a real estate license. You don't need any certifications. But there are different rules for each brokerage. But statewide, there really aren't. Anyone can become a transaction coordinator with the proper training, coaching, guidance, leadership, and education. So, with all that said, that is a general summary of what a transaction coordinator is. If you still have questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments, or you can email me directly, tc@transactioncare.com, and we can go from there. If you are a real estate transaction coordinator currently, what do you think about this definition? And then what do you think about what I've relayed to the audience here and to the community? Let me know in the comments if we missed anything, if these definitions or roles and breakdowns can be elaborated a little bit more. Let me know. I'm glad to do a part 2, or if you want to come on the vlog and talk about it with me, more than happy to. But for now, this is what it is, and I'm looking forward to giving you guys more information and breakdowns of the world of real estate business and the mindset required to be successful in this industry. And this is coming from the perspective of a transaction coordinator based in San Francisco, California. So thank you again for watching this week's vlog. If you have any questions, like I said, drop them in the comments or feel free to email me or DM me. If you want to connect with me directly, please join my private membership community. There are 2 options. There's the free option and the paid option. It's up to you which one you want to pick, but I guarantee there's a lot of value. There's a lot of information, checklists, templates, access to me, live Q&A replays, and so much more that lives in there. Visit transactioncare.com/coaching to learn more about my private membership community, as well as my one-on-one coaching packages, whether you need just a one-off meeting or 6 week, 6 months, 1 year. It's all available to you. We can discuss all of the logistics together. My goal is truly to uplift, encourage you, and give you the knowledge, value, and information you need to get on the right path on your journey. Because Lord knows, I wish I had someone like me 10 years ago as I was beginning to embark on this journey of self-employment, personal development, rediscovery of self-love. So if any of this resonates with you, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We drop vlogs every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's there for you to watch at your leisure, but I truly would appreciate it if you set your notifications on. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And I will be back next week with another vlog. Until then, care for yourself, care for your wealth. Your time is worth it. Let's coordinate. Talk soon.